As fact finders, you will interview witnesses of various types. Let's find out about the types of witnesses and their specific characteristics. Knowing these characteristics will help you get an idea about what to expect. Interviewing victims. Victims of human rights are usually the best source of information. However, as fact finders, you need to take into account the fact that they may be in a traumatized state and may not be in a proper state of mind to share their experience with you. Therefore, take care not to add to their trauma. Moreover, they may be confused about the facts. Therefore, avoid dismissing what they say and remain patient. Interviewing authorities and suspected perpetrators. Fact finders should obtain the view of authorities regarding the allegations under investigation. The fact finder should remain polite even if the government spokesperson or the alleged perpetrator totally deny all allegations or provide incredible explanations. The fact finder should probe for inconsistencies without being confrontational. The fact finder should also listen with an open mind to obtain evidence both for and against an alleged violation. Interviewing authorities or alleged perpetrators require tact and needs planning and preparation. One method of preparing for such interviews is to imagine the possible scenario and role play the interview. Interviewing women victims. Fact finders, particularly men, should be aware of discrimination faced by women and should avoid stereotyping women victims. Because of social stigma attached to rape and other forms of sexual violence, a victim should always be consulted and her consent for giving testimony must be taken after explaining the purpose of the fact finding. It is essential that women interview victims of gender based violence. Interviewing child victims. Information gathering from children is a gradual process, and not all the information can be gathered in one session. Fact finders should be prepared to accept the child's view of the world and refrain from imposing their views on the child. A fact finder should empathize with the refugees' feeling of overriding uncertainty and control over their destiny. While interviewing refugees, be sensitive to the stress of being displaced. Understand that it's not easy to be away from one's home and possibly away from one's family without material resources. There are ethical standards governing research on at risk subjects. If possible, try to keep those as reference. You can refer to the documents mentioned as guidelines for ethical standards. We have reached the end of this lesson. You should now be able to explain the basics of using interview to collect information, identify the elements involved in interviewing, and understand witnesses with particular characteristics.